Hey my crafty creatures, I just wanted to bring you another video. This one's going to be on some bralettes, and it's like my new favorite thing to wear. I actually prefer these over bras, and I've just been making up a bunch of them, so I wanted to show you how I kind of put these together and how I came up with the pattern for it. So if you want to see what I did to make these bralettes, stay tuned to the video and I'll see you at the end. To start off, we're going to get the measuring tape to make our pattern. And we're going to start at your nipple and you want to go down. This will be your measurement A. And we'll keep referring back to these. So you'll start with A, and that'll be from your nipple to just under your boob. And then you'll go from that point to your side, and that'll be your measurement B. Then from there you'll want to do your measurement C, which will be from the middle point, and then you'll go towards your sternum. And you can always add more, but make sure you don't put too little. And your last measurement, which will be D, will be from your nipple all the way up to as far as you want your bralette to go. I'll show you again on the mannequin just so you can see which measurements they are. Here is A, B, C, and D. You will also want to make sure you add at least ½ inch to each measurement you get. To make the pattern, I'm going to start on the edge of the paper, and I'm marking out my beginning point, the A measurement, and then as well as the D measurement. From the beginning point, I'm going to go over and do my B measurement, and then at the end of B measurement, I'm going to go up from there and do my A measurement. And then at the end of the A measurement, I'm going to connect it with the dot I made on the edge of the paper for the D measurement. And you'll end up with like a half of a house. And then here I'm just marking the midway points and using those points to do a curve. If you don't have this ruler, you can always use your freehand and just kind of, I guess, get as much of a curve as you possibly can. And then going ahead and cut this piece out. You'll want to do exactly the same thing using for your inner piece, but just using your C measurement instead of B measurement. After making my pattern, I did a mock-up using some muslin that I got from Joann's, and this was only $1.99 a yard, but you can get it on sale sometimes, or you can use a coupon towards it. But I'm just putting it up against me to kind of see how much I need to adjust it by, and here I put my curve a little too much, so I'm just taking a little bit out of that, and then I'll adjust it on my pattern. And then my pattern ends up looking like this. Now it's time to cut all the pieces out. I put the fabrics together and made sure that they were folded in half, so it makes it a little easier to cut everything out at once. So I ended up with 8 pieces, and there's going to be 4 pieces of both inner and outer fabrics. And after I cut out all the pieces, I just made sure that I put all the right sides together on the pieces that needed to go into the front and back. And then you'll just want to make sure that you just have those lined up correctly, because when you sew them together, it'll make it a lot easier for you. Now it's time to sew up your seam. I'm using a ½ inch seam allowance, and I'm making sure that I back stitch, and then I'll go all along the edge, making sure that it's only a ½ inch. And then once I get finished with this, I'm going to press it out a little bit with my fingers, and then I'm going to do a top stitch and making sure that I push the raw edges towards the outer part of the bra. That way everything can lay nice and flat and smooth once I sew all the pieces together. And you'll want to do this for all 4 of your pieces, both the liner and the outer fabric. Now that you have all your middle seams sewn together for all your pieces, you'll want to start putting them together. And to put them together, you want to place them right sides together, and then you'll want to take your elastic piece, making sure that you cut it long enough to reach around to your back, and then give it a little extra. You'll want to place that in the center and use a pin or anything you have to hold it in place while you're sewing. And then you'll want to go along the top edges of the fabric and using a ½ inch seam allowance, just sew all the way along and around the edges. And make sure you back stitch at the end, at both ends. Now you can flip it right sides out and do a top stitch along the edge, and make sure you do it as close as possible to the edge that you can, and make sure you go really slow because you don't want to mess up your stitching line on this. And once you get that, then you can kind of try it on to your elastic so that you can see where the placement needs to be exactly. For your elastic waistband, you'll want to measure around your rib cage, and that'll be just below where the bra is going to sit, and you'll make sure you want to pull it a little tightly so that it fits snugly while you're wearing it, and then give yourself an extra inch at the end, because when we sew it together I'm going to take off ½ inch, and then that'll give you the right size for what you need. So here I'm just sewing that ½ inch seam allowance, and then I'm folding it open and then pushing down the flaps, and then I'm just doing a zigzag stitch over the middle of that, and I'll go over it a few times back and forth, and then I'll just cut off whatever excess elastic is at the end of those zigzag stitches. Now that I have the waistband, I took some safety pins and tried everything on, and then just pinned everything into the place where I felt most comfortable with it sitting, as well as doing the straps for the back. And to make sure that it was even, I did take a chalk and then just mark the midpoint and replace them so that they fit or they are evenly spaced. Since I don't know the specific name of this stitch, I just used this one to sew along the elastic, and I used it for the straps as well. After trimming off the excess fabric, I'm just going to add some decorative pieces of elastic on the sides and stuff. Well, now this will vary for you because you can put it wherever you feel you want it, but I'm putting it here on the side, and I'm just making sure that I line it up the way I need it to so that it has just a little bit of stretchiness to it. And then I'm just taking a zigzag stitch and going along the edge. I did 2 different ones here so you can kind of see the different styles that I did with the elastic and the straps. And here is the back side of it, and then you'll have the other one that I did, which was the one that I was showing mostly in the video. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!